You're all welcome to today's News Deep Analysis. If you care about Nigeria, stay with me till the end. Because what we are about to talk about is not small politics. Before we start, please subscribe, turn on all notifications, and join this family. Here, we don't shout. We don't insult. We break things down the real way Nigerians understand. Now listen. Peter Obi, ADC, 2027. This is not rumor. This is not noise. This is strategy. Let's get straight into it. Peter Obi says it clearly. I'm not new to ADC. Those are his words. Not rumors. Not guesswork. Not political spin. He said it himself, last night, during an interactive X-Twitter space with Obidients and Nigerians from across the country. People asked questions. People listened closely. And Peter Obi spoke with calm confidence, not as someone making excuses, but as someone correcting the record. For months, the question has been everywhere. Is Peter Obi joining ADC? Is he leaving one platform for another? Is this another last-minute move? But Obi shut that door completely. He said he has been part of the ADC coalition from day one. From the very beginning. From when the idea was still young. From when people were still unsure. He said he contributed from the inception, worked with others, and stayed involved while the coalition took shape. That is why he asked a simple but powerful question. How can I join what I am already part of? That line matters. Because it changes the entire story. This is not a sudden jump. This is not panic politics. This is not a reaction to pressure. This is positioning. Peter Obi explained that what Nigerians are seeing now is not a new relationship, but a public step forward. A moment where things that were discussed quietly are now being said openly. According to him, the country is facing serious danger, and silence is no longer an option. He spoke about Nigeria as a nation that is collapsing slowly, not with noise, but with pain. He talked about hunger, insecurity, job loss, and loss of trust. He said this is why people who still care about the country must come together, regardless of past differences. That is where ADC comes in. According to Obi, ADC is not just a party sign or a new name. It is a coalition of people who believe that Nigeria still has a chance, but only if leaders act with sense, discipline, and unity. He made it clear that this coalition did not start yesterday, and it did not start because of elections alone. It started because things are no longer working. Then came the date that caught everyone's attention. The 31st of December, 2025. Enugu. That is when Peter Obi is set to officially stand with ADC in a public way. Not as someone begging for space, but as someone who already has roots there. Enugu matters. The southeast matters. And the timing matters. The last day of the year is not accidental. It is symbolic. It sends a message of closure and new direction. During the X space, Obi also addressed those spreading the idea that he is shopping for a platform. He dismissed it calmly. He said this is about responsibility, not ambition. According to him, when a house is on fire, you do not ask who invited you before you help to put it out. That statement alone explains his mindset. He reminded listeners that this coalition already includes major political figures. Atiku Abubakar and others are already part of ADC. This is not a one-man show. This is not a personal brand project. This is a gathering of forces who believe that the current situation cannot continue like this. Obi's tone was firm but respectful. He did not insult anyone. He did not attack any individual. Instead, he focused on the bigger picture. Nigeria, he said, is bigger than ego. Bigger than position. Bigger than titles. He emphasized unity again and again. He said the idea that people must fight each other to save the country is wrong. According to him, the country will only move forward if people who understand leadership put aside pride and work together. That is why he rejected the idea of joining ADC as if he was a late guest. He made it clear that he has been inside the conversation all along. What Nigerians are seeing now is not entry, but visibility. And that distinction is important. Because when a leader says, "I am not new here," he is also saying, I have been preparing. He is saying he understands the plan, the people, and the purpose. He is saying this move is calculated, not rushed. From that X-space last night, one thing became clear. Peter Obi is no longer speaking in hints. He is speaking in direction. And that direction leads straight into 2027. Peter Obi did not speak like a man trying to impress anyone. He spoke like a man who understands the weight of hunger and frustration across the country. During the X-space last night, his words were simple, but they landed hard because Nigerians are living the reality he described. He said it plainly, you cannot tax poverty. That single line explains the anger in the land. People are struggling to survive, yet policies keep pressing down on those who already have nothing. Small traders are closing shops. Families are cutting meals. Young people are giving up on plans and dreams. Obi was not quoting theory. He was pointing at real life. He went further to explain that leadership is not about traveling the world or learning big grammar while people suffer at home. That was when he made another statement that caught attention. I'm not going round the world to learn governance to be vice president. That was not an attack. It was a message. A message that leadership must be serious. A message that Nigeria does not need decorative roles or trial positions. According to him, the country needs people who are ready to take responsibility, not hide behind titles. Then he said something that showed how far he is willing to go. He said if his name has to be changed to Peter Obi Fool and it will fix the country, then let it be so. That statement was not about self-pity. It was about sacrifice. It was about choosing results over pride. Many politicians protect their image at all cost. Obi's words showed a different focus. Fix the country first. Names can wait. He also addressed those who keep tying his future to the idea of vice president. He told Nigerians to forget about vice or no vice. He said only God knows tomorrow. What he knows for sure is this: he will be on the ballot. That line removed all doubt. It was clear. It was firm. It was not open to guessing games. Obi also spoke directly to Obidients and Nigerians listening live. He said he wants to be part of those that will change Nigeria for good. Not talk about change. Not tweet about change. But be part of the hard work that change requires. He explained that this is why he is asking his supporters to move with him into ADC. Not as blind followers, but as citizens who understand what is at stake. He stressed that this is not about party worship. It is about building a structure that can carry the weight of national rescue. Throughout the conversation, Obi kept returning to one idea: Nigeria is at a breaking point. Policies that ignore the poor cannot build a strong country. Taxes without productivity only increase pain. Government without empathy only deepens anger. He did not promise miracles. He did not promise instant wealth. Instead, he spoke about discipline, planning, and choosing what works over what sounds good. He spoke about leadership that counts people, not just numbers. The calm way he delivered these messages made them even stronger. There was no shouting. No drama. Just clarity. The kind of clarity that forces people to think. By the time he finished speaking, one thing was obvious. This was not campaign noise. This was a man laying down his values in public and asking Nigerians to decide if they are ready to walk that path with him. And from the reactions during that X-space, many Nigerians were listening closely. The final part of Peter Obi's message last night was not loud, but it was heavy. It focused on unity, maturity, and what must be done if Nigeria is to survive what he described as a deep national crisis. He said the country is facing an existential threat, not a future problem. A present danger. According to him, things are breaking down at the same time: the economy, security, trust in leadership, and belief in tomorrow. And because of that, no single person can fix Nigeria alone. That was why he kept repeating the word together. During the X-space, Obi made it clear that the ADC coalition is built on cooperation, not rivalry. He said people must stop seeing politics as a fight between enemies and start seeing it as a duty shared by responsible adults. Nigeria, he said, is too wounded for ego battles. He also spoke about Atiku Abubakar in a way that surprised some listeners. He said Atiku remains a leader he respects deeply. A very senior brother. Someone he can work with. That statement was deliberate. It was meant to calm fears and shut down false stories of division. The message was simple: this is not about personal wars. This is about national survival. Obi explained that the ADC coalition already includes people with different backgrounds, histories, and strengths. What binds them is not friendship, but urgency. The understanding that the country cannot continue on the same path and expect different results. He reminded listeners again that he did not wake up one day and decide to enter ADC. He has been part of the coalition from the beginning. He contributed ideas. He joined discussions. He stayed involved while things were still quiet. What Nigerians are seeing now is the open phase of a long process. He also pointed to signs that the movement is gaining structure. He mentioned how Chief Osaloka Obeys, a former Anambra governorship candidate and his longtime associate, has officially joined ADC. That move, he said, is not accidental. It shows that people who understand governance are aligning themselves with a shared purpose. Obi stressed that this coalition is not built on noise or social media excitement alone. It is built on planning, discipline, and patience. According to him, shouting does not win elections, and anger does not fix nations. Organization does. As he spoke, it became clear that his eyes are firmly on 2027. He did not declare positions or make grand promises. Instead, he asked for two things: support and prayers. He said the road ahead will not be easy, and anyone who thinks change comes without sacrifice is lying to themselves. He told Nigerians listening that the ballot is not just a paper. It is a responsibility. A chance to choose competence over chaos, reason over emotion, and long-term thinking over short-term relief. Toward the end of the conversation, Obi's tone became even calmer. Almost reflective. He said history will not remember who shouted the loudest, but who stood firm when it mattered most. That line stayed with many listeners. His final message was clear. Nigeria still has a chance, but only if people stop waiting for miracles and start building solutions. Only if citizens move from complaint to commitment. Only if leadership becomes service again. The X space ended quietly, but the message did not. It is still hanging in the air, waiting for Nigerians to decide what they will do with it. What we are seeing now is not just another political update. It is a turning point. A moment where words begin to line up with action, and where silence is slowly giving way to clear choices. Nigeria has reached a stage where pretending is no longer an option. Peter Obi's message is not built on anger. It is built on urgency. He is not shouting at Nigerians. He is talking to them like adults who can see what is happening around them. Hunger is real. Fear is real. Hopelessness is spreading. And yet, within all this, there is still a chance to choose differently. This is why this moment matters. When a leader says he has been part of a coalition from the beginning, he is also saying he understands the risks ahead. He knows the attacks will come. He knows the lies will spread. He knows unity will be tested. Yet he is still standing in front, not behind. That alone separates serious leadership from noise. The ADC coalition, as described by Obi, is not a perfect gathering of saints. It is a practical response to a failing system. It brings together people who may not agree on everything but agree on one thing: Nigeria must work again. Roads must lead somewhere. Policies must help people. And leadership must feel the pain of the citizens. 2027 is no longer far away. Every decision made now is shaping that future. Every silence is also a choice. Obi is not forcing anyone. He is asking Nigerians to think, to question, and to act with sense. He also understands that no leader succeeds alone. That is why he keeps asking for support and prayers. Not praise. Not blind loyalty. But commitment. The kind of commitment that survives disappointment and pressure. For Obidients, this is a test of maturity. Supporting change is not just about slogans or online trends. It is about structure, patience, and showing up when it is not exciting. It is about understanding that real change is slow, uncomfortable, and demanding. For those watching from the sidelines, this is also a moment to reflect. Complaining without action only deepens the problem. Waiting for a perfect candidate only leads to repeated regret. At some point, the country must move forward with those willing to carry the burden. Peter Obi has made his position clear. He will be on the ballot. He will work with others. He will not trade principles for comfort. Whether one agrees with him or not, clarity like this is rare in Nigerian politics. The question now shifts from him to the people. Will Nigerians continue to accept leadership that explains failure instead of fixing it? Will citizens keep adapting to suffering instead of challenging it through lawful means? Or will this moment become the start of something more serious and more focused? History often moves quietly before it moves loudly. Many turning points are ignored when they first appear. Only later do people look back and say, that was when it started. This could be one of those moments. If Nigeria is to change, it will not be because one man spoke well. It will be because millions decided that enough was enough and chose responsibility over comfort. As we move closer to 2027, the noise will increase. Distractions will multiply. Fear will be used as a weapon. But clarity must remain. So wherever you stand, stay informed. Ask questions. Demand sense. And remember that the future of this country will not be decided by politicians alone, but by citizens who refuse to give up. If you found this analysis helpful, now is the time to act. Like this video so more Nigerians can see it. Share your thoughts in the comments. And subscribe, with notifications turned on, so you stay part of this conversation. Because the road ahead is long, and Nigeria cannot afford to sleep through it.